Hi, this is Gary with MacMost.com. Let's look at 10 ways to make your email signatures more interesting. MacMost is supported by viewers just like you. Go to MacMost.com/Patreon. There you could read more about the Patreon campaign, join us, and get exclusive content. So with every email we send, we usually include an email signature. You can customize those in the Mail app on your Mac. But you don't have to settle for just some plain text with your name and your email address. You can make your email signatures more useful and interesting. So to access your signatures in the Mac Mail app, go to Mail Preferences and then click on Signatures. Then you'll see a list of signatures here in the middle. So here I have a basic signature. Let's see if we can do better than that. So I'm going to create a new signature here. And the first thing I want to do is add a divider line. You can use any number of characters for that. You could add some simple dashes. You could add a bunch of equal signs for a thicker one. You can use any character you want to create a division between the text in the email and your signature. So something like 10 equal signs will usually do. Now I usually think it's silly to have your email address repeated in the signature. It's already there if the person wants to reply to you. So instead I like to use this space for a URL. If you have a URL like this, most email readers will actually make that clickable so somebody can click on that and go to your website, which makes it very useful. If you want to make extra sure that it's clickable, you could add HTTP with or without an S, / / to it to make sure that the app on the other end showing the email understands this is a URL. Now another thing you could do is you can style and color the text. And coloring is particularly unusual in a signature and will make it stand out. So I can select this here. If I use the Format menu, I can go to Show Colors here and I'll select a color for the selected text. Make it red, for instance. Maybe make this blue. It could help make it stand out. Another thing you could do is you could add emoji characters. They're universal and should appear on most modern computers. So if you bring up the emoji viewer with Option Command Space, you can view all of these different emojis and pick one that will help your signature stand out. Now whatever special characters and things you use in your signature, if somebody can't see it, then it doesn't really matter. There's an option down here, Place Signature Above Quoted Text. So if you quote a lot of text and have a response at the top, instead of your signature being all the way down at the bottom where nobody's going to scroll to see it, it will be just below what you typed. This makes it much more visible. Now in addition to using emoji, you could also use something called ASCII emoji. That's when you take standard characters, combine them to make a little illustration. If you search for ASCII emoji, you'll come up with lots of websites that list them. It's basically the combination of ASCII, which is the type of characters we use on the computer, and emoji. So for instance, you can just go to a website like this one. It'll show a bunch of them and you could copy and then paste into your signature to add a little personality. You can also take characters and spell out text like your name but larger than in normal text. Search for Text Banner Generator online. You'll come up with lots of sites that will do this for you. For instance, here's an example. I could have Gary spelled out and using a bunch of different methods you could spell it out all sorts of cool, interesting ways. If I find one that I really like, I can paste that in to my signature. You definitely don't want to use too many characters there else it'll be too long and wrap around and break in a signature. But if you keep it simple like that and you remember to turn off Always Match My Default Font and instead go in and choose a fixed width font like Courier, and once you have that set then paste it in, then usually you can get it to work. Now of course you can also include an image. So you can just drag and drop an image from a file in the Finder into your signature. It helps if the image is already sized appropriately. So this one's a little bit too big. I would instead open it up in Preview here. Then I'll go to Tools, Adjust Size. I'll make it something much smaller. So let's say make it 60 pixels by 60 pixels. And you can see that's a little bit better. And then I can export that to a smaller file and bring that little one in. And you can see that works out a little bit better. Now I don't like using images and signatures because this means that every email you send is going to have an attachment. And I hate getting emails with attachments when there really aren't attachments. There's no real document with it. It's just an image in a signature. Now in addition to enhancing each individual signature, it's useful to have multiple signatures. So you can add a new signature and have it be maybe a professional one, have another one that is maybe just one for friends, where you just have your first name. You can have another one maybe for a side project where you have some other website name there. And remember to add those to that email account. So I can add them to this account here, and now when I create a new email message coming from that account I can choose which signature to use and customize it for every email I send. And when you have many signatures for a single account you can select choose signature here and you can choose the default signature to use. But you can also choose at random or in sequential order, which means it could go through all of these and use a different one each time. This is where you could say put little quotes or have slightly different information about yourself each time. Your signature may stand out a little bit more if it's a little bit different every time you send an email. I publish new tutorials every weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. Then hit the little bell icon to get notifications for each new tutorial.